start at the beginning. That seems daunting and slightly ominous. So a lot of people don't necessarily know about my background. Well, most of this brokerage is a combination of all of the different careers I have had up until now. So I went to college in northern Minnesota. I know, you would never know it from my accent. And then I graduated. Shocking. I got a degree in organizational management and thought that at some point I would be running some kind of a company. It was kind of my goal. I've always been very entrepreneurial. I actually started as a recruiter at a headhunting company, and it was a grueling job. It was a grueling job. It actually was probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. Sorry for my boss from then who's watching this. It was a great job. It was probably the best learning opportunity I could have had, but that job spurred me actually to go to law school. So from there, I went into law school and took a job as an attorney at a firm that did a ton of small business, litigation, corporate work, and then a lot of real estate law. And I started working in that area and I really enjoyed it. But at the same time that I was doing that, I picked up a new hobby that was photography. And I fell in love with creating art and doing photography. And I started getting so busy with people asking me to take photos and do different events that I ended up having to pick, run my own business or keep being a lawyer. And so I chose to run my own business, which was a giant risk at the time. I left practicing law to do it. It was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. But I went to go run my own business and be my own boss and start this photography business and keep creating art for people, and fell in love with that process. And at the same time, we started having a family, and I got kind of burned out from going to weddings every single weekend and being gone from 9 in the morning until sometimes midnight. So at that time, I went and got my real estate license, started doing real estate on the side, and finally that actually took off. I started using my creativity and then my legal background and combining them, and it turned out to be a really dynamic combination for doing real estate. So for the last several years while I've been doing it, I've had this dream of creating a space for other agents who maybe don't have the same background that I have, but do have an interest in creating something different for their clients, do have a love for helping people and a love for doing real estate, and want some additional help on that creative side. Thinking back to my very first video that I did when I was here, it was here, I was so worried about everybody around me and people, that they were gonna stare at me, they were gonna laugh at me, that people weren't gonna wanna watch my videos. It was scary. It was super awkward and hard to be real and natural on camera, and it did leave me feeling really vulnerable.
I just got told I have an aggressive selfie camera.
But at the end, I decided the reward was worth the risk. And that is something that when you're coming out with a novel, new idea and you're stepping outside of the comfort zone, it's never gonna be comfortable. But at the end of the day, getting the message out for me was more important than worrying about what everybody else around me was thinking. And so far it's paid off, and I'm glad that I hit record that first time. And as a broker, I can also help people with just kind of my legal background and know-how of how to draft contracts, how to do all of the nitty-gritty of the everyday real estate, the negotiations. That's actually one of my favorite parts about doing real estate, is getting into a hard negotiation. I love that. So all of those things kind of combine into one dynamic skill set, and it actually works perfectly for this job that I love. I knew that I wanted to run a team. My team grew very quickly. I ended up at about 5 agents within a year of starting my team. I needed a space that would allow me to implement all of these various marketing and creative ideas and help other agents implement them too. And so I started looking for a space, and it was at that time that I realized I needed to do this at the brokerage level. One of the reasons why I wanted to start a brokerage was because I wanted to have some control over the output of branding and what we are communicating to the community and our clients with our brand. And I feel like a lot of the bigger franchised brands, they're so overpowering that it has actually nothing to do with the individual agent, but only everything to do with the franchise brand. And it's pretty hard as an agent to come in and brand yourself and trying to make yourself look different from the other 100 to 400 to 500 agents that are at your same brand. And that's something that we're gonna do different here. We're very boutique. We're never gonna be, I know, never say never, but we are never gonna be that huge brokerage, because I don't wanna be that kind of brokerage, at least not now. I want to be a place for agents to come and be different, be creative, be unique. I want to be more nimble. We're more unique, and I want to help agents on an individual level come in, figure out what resonates with them, what do they care about, who are their clients, who should be their clients if they're not already, how do you find those clients, and what motivates them to do this job. What makes this job something that they love to do instead of something stressful that they hate, that they wonder why they started doing this. If you can find your passion within this industry, you can make this job something that you love to show up to every day, where you feel encouraged by the people that you're surrounded by. And that's part of what we're doing here. We're taking in people that are creative, that love doing this job, that love the people that they work with, that love the people that are here within our culture, and it makes it somewhere super fun and awesome to come to work. And so when I was developing this idea, I knew that I wanted a space that would be big enough to allow agents to come in, to have their own area, to have their own space, but also to have community areas. They can collaborate, they can sit together, they can work on projects together, they can bounce ideas off of each other, and it's a friendly work zone for that. We don't have quiet time hours. We want you to come in and be excited about coming here and be excited about collaborating in this space. Another piece about doing this brokerage that's so important to me is just the element of family and having a work-life balance. As somebody that's a mom to 3 small kids and trying to find that balance, I totally get it. And I want to encourage people when they're coming in here, have a life outside of work. I want to encourage people to do that. I think that it's really important to have a balance, to know when enough is enough, to know when to stop working for the day and to go home and to just enjoy your life. That being said, I will always answer my phone when my agents call me, because they are, in my mind, part of my family. And I just want to be there for the agents that are joining us at our brokerage, just like I would if they are in my family. We have a really tight-knit culture here, and that's part of what's giving us the success that we have. When I got my real estate license, I was actually pregnant with our 3rd baby. It was the 3rd baby within 3 years. When our baby was born, my oldest, some of you guys know him as Realtor Boy, wasn't even 3 yet. And I had just freshly gotten my real estate license. I did a couple deals immediately after that while I was pregnant, and realized that I could do this job while having a family. And even though the hours sometimes are crazy, if you figure out how to balance it and you have a support system at home, you can do it. And for me, my support system comes from my husband. He is behind the scenes on a lot of the stuff that I do. Another huge support system for me is actually Christy, our front office admin. She's kind of our everything girl. She and I have been friends now for the last 2 years, and our friendship really evolved into her starting to help me and turned into her actually coming on board full-time with Bright Birch. And I'd be lost without her on a lot of days. She's kind of the shining light some days. When I walk in and I'm having a hard day, she can pick me right back up. She's amazing. I'm so lucky to have her. When I decided finally that this was gonna happen, that this was a real thing, that Bright Birch was gonna actually go out and be our own real estate brokerage, it was tough. It was tricky. It was risky. It was kind of a bold move. And I was told that I was gonna fail at this. That only lit the fire further for me to go out and make this a success and to show people the vision that I've got for this. I think once people get the idea behind what we're doing, it's gonna take off like a wildfire. When I first came out and launched the brokerage, I had this whole thing about burying a light bulb. And actually I was gonna hold a light bulb for this part. Hold on. This is important. You always have to have props. When I came out, I did a video holding a light bulb. It wasn't this cool Edison bulb. This is way cooler than the light bulb that I was holding, but it was to symbolize something. We're called Bright Birch for a reason. One, because we have great ideas. That's sort of what this light bulb symbolizes. But I also wanted to symbolize being a shining light within the community, being somewhere bright. There's so many negative things that happen around us, especially in this industry, that I wanted to be a game changer, somewhere where it's a bright place to come, where people enjoy what they do. And then when an agent comes in and they enjoy what they do, guess what? I'm planting that bulb somewhere within their community, and then hopefully they can plant the bulb within the people that they work with. And pretty soon we're gonna have shining light bulbs growing throughout the community. And that was kind of my goal with that. I'm excited just to see where we go with this, and I know that there's other agents out there that need us and that need this, and I'm just thrilled to get the opportunity to do this, and I'm looking forward to the future and just seeing what the future holds for us at Bright Birch.